From November 1st this year, tricycles popularly known as Aboboya will not be allowed to operate on highways and major roads in the Greater Accra region, including the Accra-Tema motorway. The Greater Accra Regional Minister, Mr. Henry Quartey, said, however, the ban on tricycles plying the Accra-Tema motorway took immediate effect. He said the tricycles would be restricted to the registered metropolitan, municipal, and district assemblies. A one-week grace period will be given after the creation of the public awareness by the assemblies, the regional minister added. Mr. Quartey noted that the measures was part of the Greater Accra Regional Coordinating Council's moves to ensure sanity on the roads. In line with that, the GRAC was liaising with the Driver and Vehicle Licensing Authority to set up zonal registration centers in the assemblies to register all tricycles operating in the region. The Takoradi Divisional Police Command of the Ghana Police Service has arrested 3 persons for allegedly faking a kidnapping incident and demanding 5,000 Ghana cedis ransom. The suspects are Joanna Kra, age 29, Susanna Awoche, age 26, and Francis Eshan, age 27. According to the police, suspect Joanna Kra conspired with the other 2 suspects to feign her kidnapping and demand 5,000 Ghana cedis ransom from her adopted father. The police added that upon Joanna Kra's realization that her adopted father had reported the issue to the police and an extensive search had commenced to find her, she showed up at the police station to confess to only joking with her father. Police have arrested 37 residents of Loire in its adjoining communities in the Adan district in the Greater Accra region. According to reports, members of the community had a confrontation with police officers who were in the community earlier to provide security for Electrochem Company Limited, which is advancing measures to mine salt in the enclave. Reports indicated that the police lost a firearm during the process, leading to the arrest of the 37 persons on Friday. In addition to the gun, the residents also made away with some ammo and a boot belonging to a policeman. After the incident, police returned to the community and raided various homes and arrested 37 persons. The police are also alleged to have vandalized properties in some homes. Mustafa Abdul Hamid, chief executive of the National Petroleum Authority, says the draft licensing framework and operational guidelines for efficient regulation of bitumen industry in Ghana has been developed. Currently, the bitumen market is not regulated. It is to streamline the operations of bitumen marketers and to enable the NPA commence the process of regulating bitumen consumption, for which a committee was constituted in 2017. Ghana imports its bitumen from SMB, which produces, stores, and trades about 47% of the total bitumen consumed on the continent. Over the years, SMB has held strategic partnerships with Total International and Vivo Energy through the importation of bitumen to the Ghana market, and currently with Ghana Oil Company, GOIL, through a partnership to construct a 6,000 metric ton bitumen processing plant in Tema. The Rand Merchant Bank, RMB, a corporate and investment banking arm of the First Rand Bank Limited, has ranked Ghana 6th on this year's Where to Invest in Africa 2021 rankings. A statement jointly signed by First National Bank Ghana and Rand Merchant Bank stated that Ghana came first in West Africa in terms of investments attractiveness, outperforming Côte d'Ivoire, Senegal, and Nigeria. It stated that Ghana entered the COVID-19 crisis on a relatively stronger footing than its African peers, as the economy managed to avoid a recession in 2020 and registered a growth of 0.4%, outperforming the sub-Saharan African economies, which contracted by 3.2% on the average. Structurally, Ghana's economy has seen major shifts over the past few years, positioning it for significant growth going forward. The statement indicated that the 2021 economy had shown a steady recovery, with the gross domestic product (GDP) print at 3.9%, supported by performance in both secondary and tertiary industries. Joe Jackson, the Director of Strategy and Business Operations at Dalex Finance, expects the Finance Ministry to announce an increase in taxes. Mr. Jackson said, quote, "In this new budget, taxes have to go up. They have to address the issues of exemptions and property taxes," he added. He argued that Ghana would have to continue borrowing to keep the economy afloat, and the borrowing would have to be offset by revenue from taxes. Quote, "Borrowing is not a choice. We can't exist without borrowing. We've gone past that point. Not to borrow will crash the economy," he stated. Right now, Mr. Jackson feels the government must focus on making borrowing, quote, "as painless as it can be." As Ghana contends with a debt stock of 332 billion Ghana cedis, he cautioned Ghanaians to prepare for a difficult economic period. Quote, "For anyone who thinks life is going to be easy, it is going to be a tough time," Mr. Jackson warned. The state of Ghana's economy will eventually lead the Akufo-Addo government going to the IMF for support, Mr. Jackson predicted further. Members of Sudan's transitional government and other civilian leaders have been arrested amid reports of a military coup. Prime Minister Abdullah Hamdok is among those reported to have been put under house arrest by unidentified soldiers. Pro-democracy protesters have taken to the streets of the capital, Khartoum. Military and civilian leaders have been at odds since longtime ruler Omar al-Bashir was overthrown 2 years ago and the transitional government set up. Video footage of the North African nation's capital on Monday showed protesters manning lit barricades and entering the area near military headquarters, with soldiers looking on. No one in the military has commented so far, and it remains unclear who was behind the pre-dawn arrests. South African ex-policewoman Nomia Rosemary Ndlovu has been found guilty of killing 5 relatives and her boyfriend at the end of a trial that has gripped the country. The 6 were murdered between 2012 and 2018, most with the help of a hitman, so she could profit from life insurance payouts. The 46-year-old was finally caught after someone she hired to kill her sister went to the police. She is due to be sentenced next month. Ndlovu was also found guilty of the attempted murder of her mother, Maria Mashwana, as well as an insurance fraud after having pocketed an estimated 1.4 million rand, that is $95,000, 69,000 pounds. Over the course of the 3-month trial, the prosecution revealed how she had systematically arranged life and funeral insurance for her relatives and then had them killed. The first person to be murdered was her cousin, witness Madala Homu, in March 2012. Then her sister, boyfriend, niece, and 2 nephews were all killed. Colombia has announced that the country's most wanted drug trafficker will be extradited to the U.S. after he was captured in a raid. Dario Antonio Usuga, known as Otoniel, was seized after a joint Army, Air Force, and police operation on Saturday. He led the country's largest criminal gang and has been on the U.S. Drug Enforcement Agency's most wanted list for years. U.S. officials had placed a $5 million, 3.6 million pound bounty on his head. They accused him of importing at least 73 metric tons of cocaine into the country between 2003 and 2014. Colombia Defense Minister Diego Molano said the next step for officials was to comply with the U.S. extradition order. Authorities have taken Antonio to a military base in the capital, Bogotá, ahead of his extradition. Being locked up in a jail thousands of miles from their home country, in a place where they have few connections and no means to intimidate guards or prison directors, is a fate many Colombian drug traffickers fear. Ghana's Black Queens beat Nigeria's Super Falcons 1-0 in their second leg tie of the opening round of the 2022 Africa Women's Cup of Nations qualifiers, courtesy a 59-minute strike by Priscilla Adobia at the Accra Sports Stadium on Sunday. The lone goal victory, however, proved too little to undo the 2-0 loss the Queens suffered, played at the Mobolaji Johnson Stadium in Lagos, Nigeria on Wednesday. With the result, the Black Queens will miss out on the AFCON 2022 and the 2023 Women's World Cup. On Sunday, Liverpool forward Mohamed Salah became the top-scoring African in Premier League history. The Egyptian started the day level with Chelsea and Ivory Coast legend Didier Drogba, who accumulated 104 goals over 2 spells with the London club before his eventual departure for a second time in 2015. But as Salah became the first away player to score a Premier League hat-trick at Manchester United in Liverpool's stunning 5-0 win, so the 29-year-old not only broke Drogba's record, but went clear on 107 goals too. Salah, who also has a previous affiliation with reigning European champions Chelsea, has become one of the Premier League's most prolific forwards since joining Liverpool from Italians Roma in 2017. Dubbed the Egyptian King by Liverpool fans, Salah netted 19 goals as the Reds ended their 30-year wait for a domestic top-flight title last year. Ghanaian actress Lydia Forson has commended the recent activities of the Ghana police in clamping down misdemeanor among celebrities and others. She also detailed a few things that everyone needs to contribute to make it work. In a tweet, the plain-spoken actress applauded the security agency for doing their work, whilst asking subtly if the same applies to prominent figures who break the law. Lydia Forson tweeted, quote, "Clearly Ghana police is working extremely hard at proving that none is above the law. Their effort mustn't be overlooked, but rather should be commended." But Lydia Forson believes that a working institution needs working people and has urged everyone to allow the law to take its course. Gospel musician Celestin Danko has been named COVID-19 vaccination ambassador by the Ghana Health Service. She was unveiled last Friday at Clever House in Accra during a media orientation held on the second phase of the COVID-19 vaccine rollout in the country. As someone who was once infected with the virus, Celestin Danko is expected to use her brand to reach out to educate the public on the safety and effectiveness of the vaccines. In her acceptance speech, the songstress pledged to use her influence and her platforms to advance the cause at hand. The orientation was under the theme, Protect Yourself, Protect Your Family, and Get Vaccinated Against COVID-19. It highlighted updates on the past COVID-19 vaccination rollout and the impending second phase of vaccination. According to the Ghana Health Service, the second phase of the vaccine rollout is expected to commence in the first week of November 2021.